What's going on, everybody? Are you ready for afternoon traffic? Because here we go. But that means I've got plenty of time to talk to y'all. Holy crap. This is going to be insane. I'm not even out of the parking lot yet. So I heard an interesting quote today. Self-doubt is a disease, and if it gets out of control, it becomes self-fulfilling. So what we're talking about is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You think something is going to happen, and therefore it happens. And I'm not talking about manifesting success. I'm talking about the downside of self-talk, self-belief, self-confidence, self-concept, all those things of belief of yourself. And essentially, whatever you believe is true. Do you believe you're worthy of success, or do you believe you are somebody who isn't worthy? Whether it's something that's self-imposed or something that you're carrying forward from childhood. And before I get those people that are like, oh, you know, past is in the past. No, I get it, but we have to be aware. If you want to be self-aware, you have to understand the impact that childhood experiences have on all of us. That's just the way the human brain works. Experiences from youth are imprinted and help determine our characteristics and our character. The more self-aware you can be, it doesn't mean that you're accepting weakness. It means you're accepting the reality of what has happened to you, and you're choosing to become knowledgeable so that you can do something about it. Right? That's the point of self-awareness and growth. So having self-concept, self-esteem, self-confidence, right? Essentially what we're doing is, how do you view yourself? And so, first of all, let me dispel the belief on confidence. Confidence does not guarantee success, but lack of confidence almost guarantees failure. Because if you do not believe in yourself, you do not believe that you are worthy of success, you are submarining every opportunity before it presents itself. Just like being confident in, sports or performance or business does not guarantee success, but without it, what are you going to experience in your journey of sports or performing arts or business or relationships? A lot of things that I talk about are universally applicable. Leadership skills, resilience skills, and especially self-confidence and self-concept, these things are universal. So let's talk about self-confidence. Let's talk about self. Yes, I'm going to come at this from a psychology perspective because that's where my expertise lies. And it's important. It's not the solution. But it's important to understand. So what's the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem and self-concept and all these ideas of self? Well, really it comes down to is, how do you view yourself? Do you believe you are worthy of success? So self-confidence, I define self-confidence as belief in yourself, belief in your abilities, and belief that you are worthy of success, happiness, and success. Competence, so there's confidence and competence. Competence is your knowledge, skills, and abilities. They are the technical skills that you use to do something that requires knowledge, skills, and abilities. And the problem that most people run into with confidence is they try to build confidence by focusing on confidence. That's backwards. It doesn't work that way. You don't build confidence by trying to be more confident. You don't build confidence by fluffing somebody up and simply saying, oh, you're such a good person. That doesn't build confidence because there's no demonstration there. That's where confidence comes from, is the demonstration of your abilities. The being worthy comes from doing things that demonstrate your worth. So I want to build up somebody that I know, right? I want somebody to feel better about themselves. Let's take the example of, because this is actually happening to me, I have a young teenager in my house who is finding himself, although what if he appeared to be a confident person in his youth, now as he's growing into a teenager, is having more difficulty, especially socially. And I was chatting with somebody else about this, and what we believe is happening here is this person is struggling not because they believe they're a bad person, but because they don't have anything to be confident about. They're not playing sports, they're not involved in activities, they're not challenged other than going to school and doing the expected work, but again, that's the expected work. They're not challenged by anything. So if you want to build confidence, you have to go do things. That's why Scouts have always been such a popular activity for all kinds of youth. Not just, people that are already really good at leadership want to demonstrate it. Nerdy kids, like when I was young, that was like Cub Scouts was with kids that didn't play sports went into Cub Scouts. And that was great. It was a great opportunity for them to be challenged, to learn things, to be placed in controlled, stressful environments, and be provided an opportunity to learn and then apply the things that they're learned. That is exactly what is needed to build confidence. So if there's a situation, or if there's somebody, you or somebody that you know that maybe might lack confidence, don't build them up by trying to talk about confidence. Build them up by helping them learn things, and then give them opportunities or encourage opportunities where they would then apply the knowledge. Think about something that you are confident in, something that you're good at. Playing an instrument, sports, business. Maybe you're in a solid relationship because you're an awesome person. What is it about those things? At some point, you weren't very good at those. So what did you do? If I'm going to take 5 of you and I'm going to put you into a basketball tournament, some of you are going to be, okay, cool, let's go. Others of you are going to say, no, I can't even dribble a ball. Okay? You lack confidence. You lack the skill. First of all, you lack the skill. Even if you have the skill, maybe you don't think you're good enough. You lack the confidence. So what are we going to do? We're going to get together. We're going to practice. Dribble and shoot and pass. And then I'm going to teach you to dribble and pass. And then I'm going to teach you to dribble, pass, shoot. I'm going to teach you to dribble and shoot. And over time, you're going to become more confident and comfortable in the activities necessary to be successful in basketball. That's how confidence works. So the downside, the quote being, self-confidence or lack of confidence is a disease, and if left unchecked, will become self-fulfilling. I knew this guy in school. He was one of the most talented people I knew, athletic-wise. He was also really smart. He was involved in a bunch of activities, did all kinds of stuff by the encouragement of his parents, but also, socially, hey, I'm good at this, so let me try this. And he was kind of popular. He was in the popular crowd, but everybody knew him as that kid that was kind of a whiny crybaby, right? And, people are like, why are you getting so pissed? Like, and he would say stuff like, oh my gosh, I'm so horrible at this. Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. He was that kid that would call himself an idiot when he's clearly a straight A student and, really good at anything he wants to do. But he was never great. He was never what most people would consider successful, because he was so self-defeating. It became a self-fulfilling prophecy that he just talked about himself, talked down to himself so much that he was his own limiting factor. Nobody else was in his way. Nobody was nobody was telling him he's a horrible person, but they would laugh and talk about him behind his back because they're like, oh, there he goes, being, I'm not going to say his name, but just being that person. He's so talented, but geez, he just hates himself. And then people got annoyed with him because they were like, geez, would you stop? You're a straight A student. You're talking about how dumb you are. Stop. Just stop. And that's where, the idea of the disease comes in, that it's eats you from the inside out, because it is on the inside. Everything about self-efficacy, self-belief and self-concept, it all comes from the inside out. Nobody can make you feel anything. Now, I'm going to caveat that with, there's some really difficult situations out there. When people come from, especially childhood, people come from tough families and tough neighborhoods. I get it. But you also hear stories of people that were in tough families and tough situations, and they still succeeded. They were still able to be successful and become a good person and well-rounded and well-mannered, despite their upbringing. And so it doesn't guarantee failure or success. A good situation doesn't guarantee success. A bad situation doesn't guarantee failure. There has to be some type of accountability here, right? And nobody can make you feel anything. Just because people are mean to you doesn't mean that you're going to feel bad about yourself. If you have the capability to withstand that, have effective self-talk. So that's just really what we're referring to here, is your internal monologue, your internal self-talk. How you talk to yourself matters. And just like any other mental skill, self-talk is not the only thing that matters. It's usually best when partnered with other mental skills. But in and of itself, it stands as a vital mental skill, a important mental health skill for overall well-being and success. On top of that, performance. So you have to have good you have to have good self-talk. Internal, that's kind of redundant. Internal self-talk. All self-talk is internal. So I want to keep referring back to the original reason for the discussion, the quote, just to make sure that I'm not going off on a random tangent. Self-confidence, a lack of confidence, is a disease, and left unchecked becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like with any other mental skill, resilience, mental health, a lot of the things that are taught, whether you're talking about performance psychology or clinical psychology, and I'll get into the difference of those. When you're talking about anything to do with psychology, as far as self-help, a lot of this stuff is very simple, but don't confuse simple with easy. A lot of it is very hard, especially when you have significant challenges you're trying to overcome, such as a difficult childhood. It's not an excuse, it's just to acknowledge the difficulty. Some people will say, well, climbing a mountain is simple. Yeah, most of the time it's pretty simple, but it's actually really hard to accomplish. It's a good analogy. So yeah, hey, look, there's a mountain. To climb that, you just got to, follow the trail one step at a time. Well, yeah, it's a little more complicated than that. Difficult, not complicated. It's simple. It's not easy. So I don't want you to get frustrated about these things, but I also don't want you to overlook them, because people want giant solutions to giant problems. Depression, anxiety, performance, relationship issues, oh my gosh, purpose and passion in your job. Like, people want giant solutions to giant problems, but it doesn't work that way. Little things done consistently over a long period of time have the greatest impact. Do little things consistently over a long period of time. Work on what are the things necessary to be good at things that you want to do. That's how you build confidence. I go back to my basketball analogy. If I'm going to be your basketball coach and you've never played before, I'm going to teach you how to dribble. And then I'm going to teach you to dribble and walk. Then I'm going to teach you to dribble and run. Then I'm going to teach you to pass. Then I'm going to teach you to receive a pass, right? See, we're building skills. Over time, if you give yourself credit for the progress, not judging because of other people, where other people are, but only judging where you are and where you came from, you will build confidence. So confidence doesn't come from focusing on confidence. Confidence comes from developing skills that help you accomplish things to be proud of. And then the pride in development and accomplishment builds confidence. So if you have a confidence issue, simplify, learn new skills, come up with a plan, because that's the other part of it. It's not just about learning the skill, it's what's the plan? Am I developing? Because if you just go out and you do it, 2 or 3 times, and then you skip a couple weeks and then you come back again, of course you're not going to have any progress. There has to be a process, there has to be a plan. You follow the plan, you trust the process, and then you will develop, and you will be able to see gradual skill development, and you will see a path to further skill development. So determine the skills that you need, determine how those skills are developed, and then create a plan that is going to allow you to develop those skills repeatedly over a long period of time. That's going to be your answer. So confidence, self-confidence does not guarantee success, but lack of confidence almost guarantees failure. Don't allow lack of confidence to be a disease that ends up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy.